everybody, welcome to another watercolor tutorial. We're going to be painting this beautiful birthday card that's perfect for spring, or it can be honestly used as any greeting card. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you have a liner brush or a round brush with a really nice pointed tip. I have linked in the description all of the paintbrushes that I use. This one in particular is number 1 Winsor & Newton, and it's technically still a round brush, but it's very long, so it's perfect for long stems of flowers. I have something in my throat. Okay, so I'm just mixing my combinations of greens here to achieve the green that I want, but you can use whatever green that you'd like. And I'm just going to start from the left side since I'm right-handed, and I'm going to paint a long stem that's reaching upwards. It's going to have a little arm coming off of it. And it's also going to have a few delicate little leaves. I'm gonna go a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing here. Don't get too hung up on these details, because there's gonna be so much going on here that a lot of this is gonna be covered up. And I'm just gonna take a nice, I'm going to start with orange here. I don't know the names of most of these flowers. I don't even know if they're actual flowers, but I'm just painting on using a dotting motion. And I'm going to paint another one on this little stem. I'm happy with that. Just zooming out so you can see the bigger picture. I am going to use a lighter green, and if you don't have multiple shades of green, you can just either water your green down to lighten it with water, or you can add black to darken it. But I just added a little bit of I picked up some lime green, and I'm gonna paint another little guy next to the first one that I painted here. And this one is going to have multiple little arms coming off of it. And now I'm going to take an even thinner brush. So this is a 00 Winsor & Newton. And I'm going to use pink. And I'm going to create these three petal flowers coming off of this guy. Let me know if you actually like watching real-time tutorials of floral paintings and wreaths, that sort of thing, where what I'm doing is quite repetitive, because I get bored of hearing myself talk, so I don't want you guys to get bored and stop watching. So just let me know if you actually find these useful, or you just kind of would rather me do a sketchbook Sunday where I talk about something unrelated and speed this up considerably. All right, so I'm taking yet another color of green, or shade of green, pigment hue I don't know the vocabulary. You would think I do after painting for so long, but I've never took any formal schooling in watercolor or art in general, other than high school art, which the only reason I passed high school art is because I liked the application component, but we also had to study art history in art, and I literally failed. Like, I actually got below 50, because history was definitely not something that I was interested in. That's not why I took art. I wanted to practice. I didn't care about the Egyptian hieroglyphs and the Renaissance period. I did have a wonderful art teacher though. Mrs. M. She was from Scotland and she had the most fabulous accent, and she made that class so much fun. She called myself and two of my friends in that class the Three Musketeers. Oh, those were good days. No problems. Just making things out of clay. If you're in high school right now, actually it's probably a stressful time to be in high school. But life's only gonna get more difficult. So I thought that I would turn this into actually like a Sketchbook Sunday episode where you're welcome to paint along, but to make it more interesting, I'll just chat about some random topic. I don't really enjoy, after I transitioned to filming with my iPhone, it's really hard to get used to doing voiceovers on my other phone again, because the application that I use is very spotty and it cuts out words as I'm talking. Like, I don't know if you've noticed in any of my previous voiceover tutorials where like I'm talking and then all of a sudden one of my words doesn't really come through, and that's because the application, I don't know what's wrong with it, but it's the application I use. And I really am not good with technology. I have such a hard time getting used to different programs and stuff that I've been using Windows Movie Maker for 10 years now. I used to make videos for something else unrelated to painting in watercolor, and 10 years ago I used Windows Movie Maker, and I'm still using Windows Movie Maker, even though it's horrible. It's really, really horrible. It crashes all the time. Would not recommend. I'm surprised if there are any people that still use Windows Movie Maker semi-professionally, because it's just a horrible program. It's had its use back in the day, but now it's really bad and I wouldn't recommend using it. But me being the person that doesn't like learning new technology, I use it. I had a point. I was going somewhere with this. Yes, I remember what I was saying. So I was telling you that I don't like doing voiceovers with my other phone because of the application that I use. So it's a lot easier now that I'm using an iPhone as a camera and also as a microphone. God bless technology in some ways. And so kind of lets me talk and paint at the same time, though it's sometimes hard to keep track of what I'm saying when I'm painting because I get so focused, which is a lot of the times why you'll hear me say things that don't really make sense or match up totally with the painting. And I had somebody point that out in a previous video. I meant to say that I was adding shadows to something, but instead I said highlights, and the person pointed that out. Yeah, just this is a disclaimer for all of my videos. I don't really pay attention to what I say as much as I would like to, because I just get so lost in the painting itself, and I improvise on the spot so much. Like if I like how something looks more than something else, I'll switch it up, and I have to, and I've done that forever. So even before I did live paintings or real-time paintings, I did that. But when I was filming or recording the voiceover, it didn't matter because I could adjust for those differences in the voiceover. I could just say it correctly right away, like, oh, here you see me doing this, like erasing the pencil marks, but actually you don't have to, because it's going to help you a lot more if you leave those pencil marks in the painting. For example, it's just an example, but that is how I operate, and you guys seem not to mind so much, which I really appreciate. Oh, another really exciting thing that's that recently was proposed to me was somebody asked me if I would be interested in teaching watercolor painting classes live to like a group of kids as a summer camp. And to that, I was very excited, because any time that I can make money outside of my part-time job is excellent, because I work in a really cute little gift shop in the tiny town, tiny little village that I live close to. And it's a really lovely gift shop, and even though I'm not materialistic, I still find things in there that I really would like to have, but I really have to restrict myself. But it is just not my type of thing. I am not, despite what you guys might think, I'm really not a people person. I'm quite solitary. I do like time to myself, and it's hard working there, having to be cheery and peppy to every customer that walks in the door when I don't feel cheery and peppy, and I have to fake being excited about products that I think are quite wasteful, and but I mean, that's the world we live in, right? We need to make money somehow. And so that's how I've chosen to make my money. Or at least, no, I chose to live in a very remote place, because that has always been a dream of mine. But with that, I have, there are compromises. I have to work a lower paying job because there aren't as many jobs available in this area. It is what it is. But the more that you guys watch my videos, like and subscribe, the more it gives me a chance to eventually in the future break away from that part-time job and just reliance on needing to work elsewhere. So if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel, and even more so liking this video and leaving a comment even on anything with recommendations on paintings that you'd like to see in the future, or what has been most touching to me, I would say, is when people tell me that they like my tutorials so much that they binge watched every single one since the beginning, or recently someone commented on my video that they find my videos so relaxing, and watching me paint is so relaxing that is what they do on their breaks so that they can relax. And then possibly the comment that has surprised me the most, because it's so frequent that people say this, is that they find my voice soothing. And the first time that somebody said that to me, I laughed out loud, because I've never thought of my voice that way. But since then, so many people have said it that it's very humbling. It's very kind of you guys. You guys are awesome. I think I've only ever had one nasty comment. I don't even remember what it was. But all I thought was, if you don't like my tutorial so much, and that it was something about it being their comment was just counterproductive. It didn't make sense. Like, if they felt that way, why did they finish watching the video? And they commented on multiple videos. So I just thought it was strange. But other than that, you guys have been so encouraging and really wonderful. So I thank you for that. If you guys have made it this far in the video, I would really appreciate it if you commented down below what your favorite flower is here that I've painted so far. Because it would be cool. I know that like a lot of people get bored watching these kinds of videos, so if you're following along, that is awesome. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate you taking time out of your day. That's about it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed following along or listening to the chat. You're also welcome to write whatever greeting you want here. You can write happy birthday, spring is here, anything you want, but I really like how this turned out, so I'm just gonna add it to my little collection of dried flowers. But you're welcome to turn this into a greeting card. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next week.